Chosen one, stop for a moment. Do not rush past this. This message is not only about a house. It is not only about a city. It is not only about packing boxes, changing keys, or walking away from familiar walls. Heaven is interrupting you because the move you feel is connected to a person your spirit has not forgotten. You thought you were just tired of where you are. You thought you were restless. You thought the room felt heavy because life has been stressful. But something deeper has been happening inside you, and every time you try to settle back into the old place, your spirit whispers, "This is not where you end." Listen carefully. The move is real. The shift is real. The pull you feel is not random emotion. It is not just boredom, and it is not you being dramatic. Heaven has been loosening your attachment to a place that once held you, because the next version of your life cannot breathe in the same atmosphere. And there is someone connected to this. Not someone who comes to use you. Not someone who comes to drain you. Not someone who makes you question your worth every night. This is a person whose presence will feel different, because they do not arrive to confuse your spirit. They arrive carrying a kind of love that feels like shelter. You have felt this coming. Maybe you had no language for it. Maybe you kept calling it anxiety. Maybe you told yourself you were just overthinking again. But deep inside, you knew something was changing, because certain places started feeling too small for the weight of what God is building in you. Some of you have been walking through your own home and feeling like a visitor. You sit in the same chair. You sleep in the same bed. You pass the same doorway. Yet something in you no longer fits there, and even when nothing obvious has changed, your soul keeps looking toward a door that has not opened yet. You may have noticed strange signs around movement: keys, roads, cars, suitcases, empty rooms, new addresses, people talking about relocation for no reason. Dreams where you are walking through a house you have never seen, but somehow it feels warmer than where you are now. Heaven speaks in patterns before it speaks in details. And maybe in those dreams, you were not alone. You may not have seen their face clearly. You may have only felt them beside you, a hand near yours, a presence behind you, a quiet sense that someone was helping you carry what you used to carry by yourself. That was not your imagination. That was a preview. Chosen one, you have been alone for so long that companionship can feel suspicious. You know how to survive alone. You know how to pray alone. You know how to cry quietly and still show up the next day. But heaven is saying, the season where you had to be strong without being held is coming to an end. This does not mean you will never face pressure again. It means you are being moved into a place where love will not require you to abandon yourself. And for someone listening right now, that sentence is already touching a wound you have kept covered for years because you became used to being needed but not cherished. You gave too much to people who only loved access. You opened your heart to people who enjoyed your light but refused to protect it. You called it loyalty when it was really exhaustion. You called it patience when it was really fear of starting over. And still, heaven did not let your heart die. Now the old environment is losing its grip. Certain conversations feel empty. Certain relationships feel thin. Certain routines feel like clothing you outgrew a long time ago. It is not because you are ungrateful. It is because heaven is preparing you for a room where your spirit can expand without apologizing. But hear me, this move is not only physical. Some of you will move homes. Some of you will move cities. Some of you will move out of an old emotional pattern before the address changes. But the same principle is true. God is separating you from the atmosphere that trained you to expect less. That is why this message found you. You are moving, but with someone who loves you. Not a fantasy, not a temporary distraction, not a person who only appears when they are lonely. This person carries a different spirit, and when they enter your life, they will not make love feel like a test you always fail. Stay with me. Do not force a face into this message yet. Do not rush to make it about the person your mind wants. Heaven is not speaking to your obsession. Heaven is speaking to your discernment. The wrong person can hear these words, and still not match the fruit that your spirit is being trained to recognize. The person connected to your next place will not need to break you to bond with you. They will not punish your sensitivity. They will not mock your calling. They will not treat your silence like rejection. They will understand that a chosen one sometimes goes quiet because the spirit is listening deeper than words can explain. They may not look like your old type. They may not arrive with the noise you expected. They may not perform love in the dramatic way your wounded places once confused for passion. But their consistency will speak. Their patience will speak. Their peace will speak louder than the chaos you used to chase. And this is where you must be careful, because when heaven starts moving you, the old patterns often try to follow. The person who would not value you suddenly senses that you are leaving. The place that drained you suddenly wants to feel familiar again. The enemy loves to decorate old cages right before the door opens. You have seen this before. Right when you finally accept that something is over, a message comes, a memory comes, a sudden apology comes, a false warmth comes. And if your heart is tired enough, you may mistake a delayed reaction for real love. But not this time. Heaven is sharpening you. There is a reason you have been seeing reminders about home. Home is not only where your body sleeps. Home is where your nervous system stops bracing for impact. Home is where you do not have to explain why your spirit feels deeply. Home is where love does not make you smaller. That is part of the partner description. They bring steadiness. They do not have to be perfect, but they are not addicted to making you uncertain. They can hear your truth without turning it into a fight. They can stand near your light without trying to own it. They do not make you beg for basic tenderness. But before you recognize them, heaven must first heal how you recognize love. Because trauma can call chaos exciting, loneliness can call crumbs enough, fear can call peace boring. And if you are not careful, you can reject the person who brings safety, because your old wounds only know how to respond to danger. And before I describe this partner more deeply, you need to understand why heaven would not let this happen earlier. Because the delay was not empty. The silence was not wasted. The waiting was not punishment. Something had to be removed from you, and something had to be removed from them before the door could open. Chosen one, now listen with a quiet heart. The delay was not empty. The waiting was not wasted. Heaven did not forget the address. Heaven did not forget the person. What looked like silence was protection, because the love connected to your next season could not enter while the old pattern still had legal room in your heart. You kept asking why nothing moved. You kept wondering why the door almost opened, then closed again. You watched people around you build homes, make plans, find partners, and move forward while you were left holding questions. But heaven was not denying you. Heaven was separating you from what would have destroyed the promise after it arrived. There were people you wanted to bring with you. Be honest. There were names you kept praying over, even after their actions kept showing you the truth. You wanted God to change their heart because you loved the idea of them, but heaven was trying to protect the future version of you from carrying an old wound into a new home. That is why certain connections became painful. That is why conversations started draining you faster. That is why places you once tolerated began feeling heavy. Heaven was making the old thing uncomfortable, not to punish you, but to stop you from decorating a cage and calling it loyalty. You were being taught to leave without hating what you outgrew. Let me place something here gently, because this message is about discernment. Some chosen ones are not blocked because God is silent. They are blocked because the inner signal has been buried under pressure, exhaustion, and old fear. That is why I will mention the Genius song once here, then continue the message with care. It is a 7-minute audio support created around brain entrainment and gamma activation, designed to help quiet mental noise so your God-given clarity can rise again. It does not replace prayer. It does not replace wisdom. It simply supports the quiet place inside you where discernment can become clean again, especially when fear and longing sound too similar. The access is in the description and pinned comment, if your spirit already recognizes the need. But stay with me, because the deeper truth is this: the delay was not keeping love away from you. It was keeping the wrong version of love from entering the house you are about to build. You have blamed yourself for the waiting. You asked if you were too sensitive. You asked if you missed your chance. You asked if your standards were too high. But the truth is, your spirit kept rejecting what your loneliness was trying to accept. That was not sabotage. That was protection wearing the voice of discomfort. Some people loved your kindness, but not your calling. Some loved your warmth, but not your truth. Some loved the way you healed them, but not the version of you that needed to be held. And heaven watched every time you made yourself smaller just to keep someone near who was never assigned to walk with you. This is why your move had to wait. A physical move without an inner move would have repeated the same cycle in a new location. You could have changed cities and still carried the same fear. You could have changed keys and still opened the door to the same confusion. Heaven wanted more than relocation. Heaven wanted liberation. The person coming with real love is not being sent into your survival pattern. They are being sent into your healed direction. That means the old version of you had to lose its appetite for chaos. The part of you that confused inconsistency with mystery had to be trained again. The part of you that begged for crumbs had to remember royalty. Chosen one, you are not hard to love. You were just surrounded by people who benefited from your self-doubt. You are not too deep. You were just connected to shallow vessels. You are not asking for too much when you ask for peace, honesty, tenderness, and presence. Those are not impossible things. Those are signs of mature love. You are being retrained to recognize peace. That sounds simple, but for a wounded heart it can feel strange. Peace does not always create fireworks. Peace does not always make the stomach flip. Peace may feel quiet at first, because your body is learning that love does not have to arrive with panic to be real. The one who loves you will not need confusion to keep your attention. They will not make you live in emotional weather that changes every hour. They may challenge you, but they will not destabilize you. They may be honest with you, but they will not humiliate you. Their love will have weight, not noise. This does not mean the partner will be flawless. Do not build an idol out of a human being. They will have a history. They will have lessons. They will have days when they need grace. But the difference is fruit. Their spirit will show a willingness to grow, repair, listen, protect, and stay consistent when feelings are not dramatic. That is how heaven prepares union. Not by giving you someone who worships your pain, not by giving you someone who flatters your loneliness. Heaven gives you someone whose love agrees with your healing. Someone who does not need you broken to feel powerful. Someone who can stand beside your assignment without competing with it. For many of you, the address changes after the identity changes. First, God moves your appetite. Then God moves your standards. Then God moves your circle. Then God moves your body. By the time the door opens in the natural, your spirit has already left the prison that used to look like home. The move is not only away from something, it is toward something. It is toward a different rhythm, a cleaner atmosphere, a love that does not punish your sensitivity, a home where your spirit can rest without scanning the room for danger. And yes, for some of you, it is toward a person who has been prepared through their own fire. So stop calling the wait a curse. Stop calling the silence abandonment. Stop calling the closed door proof that you are not loved. A closed door can be mercy. A delayed move can be protection. A lonely season can be the place where heaven cleans your discernment before placing your hand in the hand of someone real. You are moving, but not as the same person who begged to be chosen. You are moving as someone who has learned the difference between access and covenant. You are moving as someone who no longer confuses being wanted with being valued. And this is why the next connection must be different from everything you survived. Now watch the pattern. Heaven has always moved people before joining them to the right assignment. Before Ruth stood in the field of favor, she had to leave Moab. Before Abraham saw promise, he had to leave the familiar. Before Joseph could stand in authority, he had to be moved through places he never would have chosen. Movement comes first, alignment comes next, recognition comes after that, and then the union becomes safe enough to carry purpose. So do not rush the description yet. The person is connected to the move, but the move is connected to your becoming. And what heaven is about to reveal next will make the pattern impossible to ignore. Chosen one. Now watch the pattern. Heaven has always moved people before joining them to the promise. Movement is not random. Movement is preparation. Movement is separation. And when God begins to shift the ground under your feet, it is because the old place can no longer hold the assignment being formed inside you. Ruth did not meet favor while clinging to Moab. She had to leave what was familiar. She had to walk away from the place that held grief, memory, and old survival. And when she moved, she did not understand every detail, but her obedience placed her in the field where divine love could finally recognize her. This matters for you. Ruth was not chasing Boaz. She was walking in alignment. She was gathering what was in front of her. She was honoring the step heaven gave her. And while she was doing the next right thing, someone with the capacity to cover, protect, and honor her began to notice what others had overlooked. That is a word for you. The person connected to your next season may not be found through chasing. They may be found while you are simply obeying the move. You will not have to perform for them. You will not have to become louder, smaller, prettier, tougher, or more convenient. They will see fruit because their spirit knows how to recognize fruit. Abraham also had to leave. God did not give him the full map first. He received direction before he received details. That is often how heaven works with a chosen one. You feel the pull before you see the address, and you feel the ending before everyone around you understands why you can no longer stay. So do not despise the changing room. Do not curse the unfamiliar road. Do not panic because the future does not look like the picture you once made in your head. Sometimes heaven changes the setting before it reveals the person, because the person belongs to the new assignment, not the old version of your life. Now let me speak about them carefully. This person will not make you feel hunted. They will not make you feel like love is a courtroom where you must defend your existence. Their energy will not constantly pull you into confusion. They may stir your heart, but they will not disturb your peace in a way that makes you lose yourself. They carry steadiness, not perfection, steadiness. There is a difference. A perfect image can still hide a divided spirit, but a steady person shows fruit over time. They return to truth after conflict. They do not disappear to punish you. They do not make you feel unsafe just because they feel uncomfortable. This person respects silence. That will matter to you more than you expect. You have been around people who filled every quiet moment with suspicion, accusation, or pressure. But this one will understand that silence can be sacred. They will not always need noise to feel secure, because their spirit is not addicted to control. They will notice what drains you. They will not mock your sensitivity. They may not understand every spiritual feeling you carry at first, but they will honor the fact that your inner world is real to you. And instead of calling you too much, they will learn how to approach you with tenderness. This person will not compete with your calling. They may challenge you to grow, but they will not be jealous of your light. They will not resent the time you give to prayer, purpose, healing, or obedience. They will not try to become your God, because real love does not need to replace God to feel important. Their words will not always be many. Some of you are expecting a dramatic speech, but heaven may send someone whose love is revealed in consistency more than performance. They check in. They follow through. They remember what matters. They do not make you decode their care like a puzzle every single day. And yes, there may be a name, a sound, or a letter that touches your spirit. But do not force it. Do not turn this message into obsession. Heaven confirms through peace, timing, fruit, and repeated alignment. If you have to lose your peace to make the sign fit, the sign is not clean. Some of you already know who this could be. Your heart became quiet when a certain person came to mind. Not frantic, not desperate, quiet. That kind of quiet is important. It feels different from obsession, because obsession tightens your chest, while recognition brings a deep breath you did not know you were holding. Others of you have not met them yet. Do not panic. Their absence today does not mean the promise is absent. They may be in their own preparation. They may be leaving their own Moab. They may be learning their own obedience, so they do not arrive with hands full of old chains. This is why you must not rush the door. If they come too early, the connection becomes pressure. If you move too early, you may carry fear into the room. Heaven knows timing better than longing does. Longing wants now. Wisdom asks whether both people can carry what love is about to require. The one who loves you will not only love your soft side, they will love the assignment on your life, even when it requires patience. They will not punish you for being intense. They will not shame you for being careful. They will not treat your discernment like a threat, because they are not hiding what truth would expose. They will have a protective quality, not possessive, protective. They will want you safe, but not trapped. They will cover your name when others misunderstand you. They will speak honestly when you are drifting. And they will not enjoy your weakness, because real love does not feed on the vulnerability it was trusted to protect. Do you see the pattern now? Heaven moves people before it joins purpose. Ruth moved, then favor recognized her. Abraham moved, then promise unfolded. Joseph moved, then authority found its place. Esther moved, then courage had a stage. And you are moving, because love tied to purpose cannot flourish in the wrong atmosphere. But there is still a warning here. The old version of love may try to imitate the new one. It may speak softer for a moment. It may promise change. It may suddenly notice your value when your spirit begins to leave. But delayed attention is not always repentance. Sometimes it is fear of losing access. That is why clarity matters now. When the heart is wounded, it can call anxiety love. When the mind is noisy, it can call fear discernment. So remember what I mentioned earlier. The support is not there to replace prayer. It is there to support the quiet place inside you where discernment becomes clean again. Because the next part is serious. The move is not dangerous. The wrong attachment is. The new address is not the threat. The old pattern trying to sneak into the new address is the threat. And before heaven gives final confirmation about this partner, you must see what counterfeit love does right before real love enters. Chosen one. This is where the message gets sharp. The move is not the danger. The unfamiliar road is not the danger. The real danger is the old attachment trying to dress itself in new language right before heaven brings you into a different kind of love. Counterfeit love often appears before real love becomes visible. It feels the shift. It senses your spirit leaving. It notices when your silence no longer means weakness. And suddenly the person who ignored your tears begins to speak gently, because access becomes precious only when they realize it is almost gone. Do not be fooled by panic wearing the mask of affection. Do not confuse delayed attention with repentance. Do not mistake fear of losing you for the ability to love you. Some people do not miss your heart. They miss the way your heart made their life easier while they refuse to make your life safer. That is the hidden blocker. You are not afraid of moving. You are afraid of being loved without having to perform. You are afraid of walking into a home where nobody needs you broken to feel needed. And because peace has felt unfamiliar for so long, part of you may still reach for chaos when heaven offers shelter. This is why the next person will feel different. They will not activate the same panic. They will not make you stare at your phone for hours. They will not disappear just to see if you will chase. They will not turn affection into a test. Their love may feel calm, and at first that calm may confuse you. But calm is not emptiness. Calm is not weakness. Calm is not a lack of passion. Calm is what your nervous system feels when it is no longer preparing to be abandoned. The person who loves you correctly will not need to wound you deeply just to prove that the connection is intense. Counterfeit love makes you anxious and calls it chemistry. Divine love makes you steady and calls it home. Counterfeit love demands access before trust has been built. Divine love builds trust until access becomes safe. Counterfeit love wants your light as a resource. Divine love protects the flame because it understands what that flame cost you. Let that enter your spirit. You survived people who praised your soul while mishandling your heart. You survived connections that made you feel chosen one day and disposable the next. Heaven did not bring you through all of that so you could move into a new season with the same wound wearing a cleaner outfit. The person connected to your next home will not make you shrink. They may challenge your fear, but they will not crush your spirit. They may speak truth, but they will not use truth as a weapon. They may see your scars, but they will not treat your scars like evidence that you are too difficult to love. They will have home energy, not because they solve every problem, not because they never make mistakes, but because something in their presence allows you to breathe. Your shoulders drop, your thoughts stop racing, your spirit does not feel like it must stand guard all night. That is not ordinary. That is recognition. And this is where discernment matters more than desire. Desire may ask, do they want me? Discernment asks, do they carry peace? Desire may ask, did they text back? Discernment asks, does their pattern make my spirit safer or smaller? Desire wants a sign. Discernment studies the fruit. Chosen one, you cannot bring an old appetite into a new covenant. You cannot keep calling confusion deep because it keeps you emotionally busy. You cannot keep calling crumbs loyalty because you are afraid of an empty table. Heaven is preparing a table where love will not require you to starve first. For someone listening, this is the hard truth. You were not rejected because you were unlovable. You were redirected because the person you kept choosing could not enter the level of peace assigned to your future. God did not remove them to embarrass you. God removed them because the next home cannot be built with unstable hands. The love coming now will require a clearer mind. Not a perfect mind, a clearer one. Because wounded places can misread silence. Wounded places can overvalue attention. Wounded places can panic when love becomes healthy. So heaven is not only changing your address, heaven is cleaning your inner signal so you can recognize what is real. This is why I want to bring back what I mentioned earlier, not as a sales pitch, not as noise, but as a key for this season. Many chosen ones were born with unusual clarity, deep intuition, and a mind that could sense patterns other people missed before they had words for them. When you were younger, you may have learned quickly. You may have felt things before they happened. You may have known when someone was lying, hurting, or hiding something. But life, stress, betrayal, pressure, and constant survival can cover that gift until the inner signal feels dim. The Genius song was created for that place. It is a 7-minute digital audio track made to be heard through headphones using brain entrainment to support gamma activation. Gamma is connected with focus, insight, flow, and those sudden moments when truth becomes clear without force. For a chosen one, clarity is protection. Dr. Robert Lake, a neuroscience researcher with 34 years of experience, developed this audio around the idea that the brain can be guided back toward a higher state of activation. Research around gamma has been connected to names like MIT, Princeton, Harvard, and other leading universities. But the point is practical. Your inner signal matters. This is not replacing prayer. It is not replacing obedience. It is not replacing wisdom from God. It is simply a support for the part of you that needs quiet enough to discern. Because when you are moving, and when love is involved, a noisy mind can make the wrong door look urgent, and the right door look too calm. That is why this tool fits the season of this message. You are not just trying to feel better, you are trying to recognize better. You are trying to stop confusing pressure with confirmation. You are trying to hear the difference between fear, loneliness, trauma, and the calm voice of truth inside you. More than 18,366 people have used the Genius song. And the strongest part is not only the number, it is that fewer than 4% asked for a refund, which means the overwhelming majority chose to keep using it beyond the guarantee window. Think about what people often try first. A meditation app can cost around $15 every month. A growth course can cost $100 to $200. A weekend spiritual retreat can cost $400 to $800. One therapy session can be around $150. Those things may help some people, but most of them are not built specifically around Gamma support. The Genius song is different because it is 7 minutes, simple, digital, and made for daily use without turning your whole life into another assignment. And before I give the final confirmation about this partner, I need you to understand one more thing. Clarity will protect the move. Clarity will protect the home. Clarity will protect the person heaven is sending, because without clarity, old fear can sabotage new love before it has time to grow. Chosen one. Now, let the truth settle. Clarity will protect the move. Clarity will protect the home. Clarity will protect the love heaven is allowing near you, because a confused heart can reject peace when it arrives quietly and run back toward noise that only feels familiar. That is why the Genius song matters in this message. Dr. Robert Lake compressed years of neuroscience work into a 7-minute digital audio track made to be used with headphones. The original access was $49, but for viewers of this message, it is available for $39. And with that $39 access, there are 4 bonuses included. Genius Child has a separate value of $19. The classic book has a value of $20. Guided visualization has a value of $29. The 5-habit infographic has a value of $12. That means $80 in bonuses are included with the $39 access. But hear the deeper point. The value is not only in what is added, the value is in what clarity protects. A wrong attachment can cost years. A confused decision can cost peace. There is also a 90-day guarantee. If you use it and feel it is not for you, you can request a full refund. No complicated condition is required. No digital product needs to be returned. And even then, you keep all 4 bonuses, because your trust should never be handled carelessly. But I need to protect you here. There are copies. There are fake pages. There are ordinary sounds using names they did not earn. Do not search for it on Amazon. Do not search for it on YouTube. Do not search for it on Spotify. The official access is in the description and the pinned comment only. Now pause for a moment. Take a slow breath. Put your hand over your heart if you can. Not because you are being pressured, not because you must prove anything, but because this decision is not only about $39. It is about whether you are ready to protect your clarity in the season you are entering. Ask yourself quietly, am I willing to stop calling confusion love? Am I willing to stop dragging old fear into new rooms? Am I willing to recognize peace when it does not look like my old pattern? If your spirit says yes, then you already know where to go. The official access is in the description and pinned comment. Use that path if it feels aligned. Then come back to this truth. You are moving. You are not moving as the old version of yourself. You are not moving as the one who begged for scraps. You are moving as someone heaven has been restoring. Now, I want to finish the description of the one connected to this season. They will not make your heart feel like a battlefield every day. They will not require you to betray your spirit to keep their attention. They will not treat your calling like competition, and they will not make your sensitivity feel like a mistake. This person carries a home frequency. You may feel calmer around them without knowing why. You may speak more truth around them than you expected. You may notice that your body does not brace the same way. Your spirit will not feel trapped. It will feel seen even before everything is explained. Their name may carry a sound that feels familiar. A letter may repeat around you. A conversation may confirm something you felt before you had proof. But do not chase signs like a desperate person. Let peace confirm what timing reveals, because heaven does not need obsession to make truth recognizable. They will not worship you. That would be unhealthy. They will not save you. That belongs to God. But they will walk with you in a way that makes healing easier to continue. They will remind you that you can be strong and still be held. You can be chosen and still be loved tenderly. And when the move happens, notice who brings peace into the process. Notice who respects your pace. Notice who helps without making you feel indebted. Notice who makes the future feel possible instead of heavy. Love is not only what someone says when emotions are high. Love is what remains consistent when life becomes practical. This is your warning and your comfort. Do not let loneliness choose for you. Do not let fear interpret the silence. Do not let the old version of you negotiate with the door God closed. If someone only values you when you are leaving, ask heaven for wisdom before you call that love. Because real love will not need you almost gone before it becomes present. Real love will not require constant crisis to show care. Real love will not make you audition for a place that God already prepared for you. The one connected to this move will carry a steadiness that your spirit recognizes. You are not moving into another cycle of begging. You are not moving into another room where you disappear emotionally. You are not moving into a home where your gifts are tolerated, but your heart is neglected. You are moving into alignment. You are moving into a season where love becomes safe enough to receive. Let the old room bless you and release you. Let the old pain teach you and leave you. Let the old attachment lose its voice. You do not have to hate the past to leave it. You do not have to prove you were hurt before you are allowed to heal. Place your attention on your heart now. Breathe slowly. Let your shoulders drop. Heaven has not abandoned your desire for love. Heaven has been purifying it. Heaven has been removing the need to be chosen by people who only knew how to take, so you could recognize someone who knows how to cover. Now repeat this in your spirit if you can. I release the old room. I release counterfeit love. I release the fear that peace means emptiness. I release the need to chase what God is removing. I receive the home heaven is preparing for me. I receive love that carries peace. I receive a partner who honors my calling. I receive clarity to recognize fruit. I receive courage to walk away from confusion. I receive the grace to move without dragging old pain behind me. I am not moving backward. I am moving into promise. Say this again in your heart. I am moving with peace. I am moving with wisdom. I am moving with divine protection. I am moving with someone who can love the healed version of me, not just use the broken version of me. I will not mistake chaos for chemistry again. And now, seal it with obedience. Comment these words. I am moving with peace. Let that be your agreement. Let that be your marker. Let that be your witness that you are no longer available for counterfeit love, old rooms, or emotional confusion dressed as destiny. If this message found you, it was not random. Heaven knows how to locate a chosen one at the edge of transition. You may not have every detail yet, but you have enough light for the next step. Keep your spirit clean. Keep your heart open. Keep your discernment awake. You are moving, but you are not moving alone. You are being led out of the place that trained you to survive, and into the place where love will help you breathe again. The one who truly loves you will not make you question your worth. They will help you remember it.